Gather round, my friends, for a tale that has been whispered on the windswept shores of North Carolina for over 400 years. This isn't just a ghost story. It's a story of America's greatest unsolved mystery, the lost colony of Roanoke. What really happened to the 117 men, women, and children who vanished without a trace? History gives us clues, but legend offers a far more haunting explanation. It speaks of a forbidden love, a bitter betrayal, and a curse that echoes through the centuries. So, dim the light, settle in, and let's journey back to the year 1587. To a time when the Old World and the New World collided with devastating consequences. Our story begins with the arrival of the English settlers on Roanoke Island. Among them was a young woman, let's call her Eleanor, full of hope for a new life. But the land was not empty. It was the ancestral home of the Croatoan people, a tribe deeply connected to the island's rhythms. It was here, amidst the verdant forests and saltwater marshes, that Eleanor's path crossed with that of Manteo, the proud son of a Croatoan chief. Their first encounter was one of caution, a meeting of two worlds. But soon, that caution gave way to curiosity, and curiosity blossomed into a deep, forbidden love. They met in secret, under the watchful eyes of the moon and stars, their hearts speaking a language that needed no translation. For Eleanor and Manteo, their love was a bridge between their two peoples. They dreamed of a future where English settlers and Native Americans could live in harmony, a future born from their union. Manteo shared the secrets of the land with Eleanor: how to cultivate the soil, where to find healing herbs, and how to read the signs of the weather. Eleanor, in turn, shared stories of her distant home, of bustling cities and strange customs. In their hidden world, there were no divisions, only the pure and simple truth of their affection. But love, especially a love that challenges the boundaries of its time, is a fragile thing. The world outside their secret haven was not so understanding. Shadows were gathering, and a storm of conflict was brewing on the horizon, threatening to tear their idyllic world apart. While Eleanor and Manteo nurtured their secret romance, tensions between the settlers and the local tribes were escalating. Scarcity of resources, misunderstandings, and a deep-seated mistrust created a chasm of fear and hostility. The colony's governor, John White, Eleanor's own father in some versions of the tale, had to sail back to England for supplies, leaving the fledgling settlement in a precarious state. He promised to return within months, but fate and a war with Spain had other plans. Years would pass before he could make his way back to Roanoke, leaving the colonists to fend for themselves in an increasingly hostile environment. Within the English camp, there were those who saw Manteo not as a friend, but as a symbol of the savage world they feared. And in Manteo's tribe, some viewed his affection for an outsider as a betrayal of their own people. The betrayal came from where they least expected it. A jealous suitor from Eleanor's own community, resentful of her love for Manteo, discovered their secret meetings. Consumed by rage and prejudice, he exposed their affair to the colony's leaders and to Manteo's tribe. The consequences were swift and brutal. Eleanor was accused of consorting with the enemy, a traitor to her own kind. Manteo was seen as a disgrace, a man who had forsaken his heritage for a foreign woman. They were dragged before their respective elders, their love condemned as a crime. The verdict was absolute banishment. They were to be cast out, forbidden from ever seeing each other again, their dream of a unified future shattered by hatred and fear. The love that was meant to be a bridge had become the very thing that isolated them from everyone they had ever known. But the punishment didn't end with banishment. According to the legend, a powerful shaman from Manteo's tribe, furious at the dishonor brought upon his people, invoked a terrible curse. He declared that Eleanor and Manteo, torn apart in life, would be bound to the island in death. Their spirits would be doomed to wander the misty shores for eternity, forever searching for one another but never able to touch. Their ghostly forms forever separated by an invisible barrier, and the curse extended further. It fell upon their descendants, a dark shadow that would follow their bloodline through the ages, bringing sorrow and misfortune to all who carried their legacy. The island itself seemed to absorb this dark energy, becoming a place of perpetual longing and loss. The curse was sealed. When Governor John White finally returned to Roanoke Island in 1590, he found the settlement completely deserted. There was no sign of a struggle, no bodies, no clues to what had happened to the 117 souls he had left behind. The houses had been dismantled, and the entire colony had vanished as if into thin air. The only thing he found was a single word carved into a fence post: Croatoan. Was it a message, a destination, or was it a grim reminder of the tribe that had been both friend and foe? The mystery of the lost colony was born in that moment. Did the colonists assimilate with the Croatoan tribe, as the clue might suggest? Or did the shaman's curse play a role in their mysterious disappearance, erasing them from the pages of history? Over the centuries, the legend of the cursed lovers has taken root in the soil of Roanoke. Locals and visitors alike have reported strange occurrences on the island, especially on misty nights when the veil between worlds seems thin. They speak of seeing two spectral figures, a pale woman in colonial dress and a Native American warrior, wandering the beaches and the ancient woods. They appear to be calling out to each other, their sorrowful cries carried on the salt-laced wind. Some claim to have seen them reach for each other, only to have their hands pass through one another like smoke. They are forever close, yet eternally apart, reenacting their tragic banishment night after night. These ghostly sightings have become a part of the island's identity, a constant, chilling reminder of the love story that ended in a curse. Is there any truth to this legend? Historians and archaeologists continue to search for concrete answers about the fate of the lost colony. Recent findings suggest that the colonists may have split up and attempted to integrate with different Native American groups. But the legend of Eleanor and Manteo persists, not as a historical fact, but as a powerful piece of folklore. It's a story that gives a human heart to a historical mystery. It transforms an unsolved puzzle into a timeless tragedy about love, prejudice, and loss. Perhaps the story was created to explain the unexplainable, to give a face to the fear and uncertainty that surrounded the colony's disappearance. Whether fact or fiction, the tale of the cursed lovers has become intertwined with the history of Roanoke. A haunting lullaby of what could have been. So, the next time you hear the wind rustling through the trees on a dark night, think of Eleanor and Manteo. Think of their forbidden love and the curse that bound their spirits to the shores of Roanoke Island. Their story is a powerful reminder that the deepest mysteries are not always found in history books, but in the legends we tell to make sense of the world, and in the enduring power of a love that defied all boundaries, even in death. It's a haunting tale, a piece of American mythology that continues to captivate and mystify us, proving that some stories, like some spirits, are destined to wander forever. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into history and legend. What do you think happened to the lost colony? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tales from the shadows of history. Until next time, stay curious.